After selling off my favorite weapon, my AR-15 300 Blackout PDW, I was lost in the wilderness, distraught. What would I replace my favorite AR, my favorite gun, with? The vision came to me in the desert. I was to replace my totally sensible weapon with something so preposterous, a weapon that is synonymous with criminality and gangbanging. This is my overview of my new favorite and most useful firearm. This is the Romanian Draco. The Draco hails from Romania, another word that is synonymous with crime. Originally a paratrooper weapon, the Romanians decided to chop off the stock and sell it in the United States as a pistol, and the rest is history. In today's video, I will be breaking down my Draco piece by piece and showing you how I turned this essentially useless range toy into a very useful and very effective defensive tool, and personally, up to this point, my favorite gun. The first two parts I installed on the Draco the second I brought it home was the Adaro Arms aim.22 mount with the Holosun 403R and the bone steel folder. The Holosun and Adaro Arms mount by themselves were really great parts. I really liked that red dot and I was able to get it zeroed. However, I took it off pretty quickly because my sight block came canted, and this drove me absolutely insane. And I also realized that I could probably do more with this if I got a magnified optic. The bone steel folder is a part that is made to order, and I got the one that folds to the right. That way it lines up with my future weapon light, my charging handle, and all the other parts that stick out to the right of the rifle. It's rigid, it's solid, and if the NFA went away tomorrow, I would still just keep this on. Yes, this brace is that good. It's a little pricey, but it's very, very high quality. The muzzle device is a 7.62x39 Barrel brake. It doesn't look very impressive and was not the one I was originally going to get, but it was recommended to me by a friend, and I'm glad that I followed his advice. The holes on this are not nearly as big. Oh my gosh, pause. The ports on this are not nearly as big as ports found on other Draco builds, but this thing tames recoil shockingly well. Everyone that I have shoot this gun talks about how little recoil it has. The gun nerd friends that I have shoot it comments on how it has recoil similar to that of a 5.56. It does work really, really well. The fireballs are pretty extreme at night, but there's no getting away from that with a 7.62x39 short barrel. So the brake is really good and really, really cheap as well, which I quite enjoy. The next thing I needed to do was figure out how I was going to put a more capable optic on the Draco. The obvious solution was the AK Master Mount. This is a relatively easy to install part that will add a side rail to a side rail-less AK. I did tighten it a little too tightly at first, and that would actually squeeze the receiver, so the bolt had a hard time coming back, but all I had to do was back it off a few thou, and the Draco's been 100% reliable ever since. The ACOG has held perfect zero, even after taking the rail on and off, the Midwest Industries rail specifically on and off, and it's held zero just fine. So this is a fantastic part. And let's actually get into the ACOG. I found the ACOG TA01 on TaxSwap, and I actually did a trade for it. When I received the ACOG, it came in this dope like cigar box. It was actually really cool. This is a really old TA01. The tritium is long dead and there's no fiber optics. So this is really basically like a daytime only optic. I don't even really care. This optic's actually really fun and really easy to use. That's why I like Prism optics. They're durable, they're robust. They really increase your potential capability, and it's easy to use, even up close. This is actually kind of a weird match. No one would ever really think to put an ACOG on top of a Draco, but I did it, and I don't regret it even one bit. I really do enjoy using it. When I got it, it was covered in like this awful, awful spray paint. So I had to soak it in a citrus solution for 24 hours. I soaked it. It was completely submerged for 24 hours. No liquid leaked in or anything like that. And I was able to scrape off all the paint with the toothbrush really easily. This is a fantastic optic. Again, not normally what you would see on an AK, but I think it's actually a really, really good fit. Hey, by the way, if you like the sticker on my AK mag here, you should hit up Civilian Expedition Outfitters in the description below. It's a very cool sticker. Very unique, very limited. Baby angel with a gas mask. It says hard times are coming, although this one says hard times are coming from a certain angle. Anyway, check it out in the description below. There is a pretty big problem though with using this TA01 on the ACOG. The TAO one I have is calibrated for a green tip 5.56 out of a 14.5 inch barrel. This is a AK with a 12.5 inch barrel that shoots 123 grain bullets, a completely different trajectory. So I took it out to 250 yards to see what kind of holes I would have to have if I wanted to shoot at mid-range. And honestly, more importantly, to see if I was capable of making any hits at all. And then this happened. I hit that 100%.
Oh, yeah,
let's roll it back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you heard that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. So if that was pretty impressive, if I do say so myself. That was 250 yards from standing or kneeling. I forgot which one I was doing. I think I was kneeling. Still, with a gun that's typically like 4 MOA, that's a pretty good shot. Let's go examine that target. Okay, there's some previous shots here. So I don't think I'll be able to tell which one's the new one. It's kind of unfortunate. But I did get that ding, so you guys know I'm not capping, okay? And on a small coffin like this at 250 yards, I mean, at least for me, that's pretty impressive. You guys are probably much better shooters than I am, but after only a few rounds, I was able to land one from all the way back there. So, pretty freaking dope. I know a 250-yard shot is really nothing for a lot of you guys, but with a short AK, with an optic not optimized for it, and an amateur shooter like me, I consider that impressive. And more importantly, proved to me that this is not a bad idea, that this is probably actually a pretty effective combo. Of course, I added the Texas Weapon Systems hobnob, which I think is a requirement or something like that if you're running a modern AK. Just makes running the whole gun a lot more fun. I did also steal the safety and the K2 grip from my PSA GF3. The K2 grip just simply is great. It's a lot better than the stock handle. And of course, the extended safety, again, something that I think is basically a requirement if you're trying to modernize your AK. And the last and final upgrades, we're adding the WBP rail, the BCM 85-degree angled foregrip, and the Streamlight Mark II or second gen, I forgot what they call it, light. This really tied the whole gun together. Originally, I just had the polymer furniture on there, but the WBP rail, it's only like 60 bucks. It's like impossibly cheap, but it's made by WBP, and so far, it's worked perfectly. It hasn't moved at all. It's a very, very tight install requiring a rubber mallet, so it's not going anywhere. The BCM angled foregrip allows me to keep this gun as a legal handgun, which, you know, it's just so hilarious, and it makes putting my thumb in the right position for the light really easy. The ProTac Gen 2 is amazing. This is the 1000 lumen variant. It's got an always on button, which is something they stole from Surefire, which is a good idea to steal. It works really well. And I've got the momentary switch on the left side, right where my thumb is. So when we were exploring that cave a few weeks ago, link in the description. The always on button was awesome. If I'm ever in a really serious situation where I don't want to accidentally light ND, I do have that momentary pressure pad as well. It comes with a rechargeable battery. A lot of people don't like them. I really like them because CR123s are expensive. So being able to have a battery I can just charge up, really nice. And it works very, very well. So that is my Draco, my beloved, my Romanian girlfriend. But I think there's a question here that is worth addressing. Is this worth doing? For most people, probably not. I'm not your dad. It's a free country. Do whatever you want. But if you wanted to recreate this Draco, it would probably cost you about $2,000, maybe even north of that. Of course, a lot of these parts are parts I've had for a long time, parts I traded for. But if you wanted to just take your credit card and buy everything for this gun up front, you're going to be paying a lot of money. That same amount of money could probably be used to buy a better base gun, probably better optics, and a bunch of ammunition. But that wasn't really the point. I wanted to take a gun that no one cares for, no one believes in, and really take it to its limit, take it to its ultimate potential. And I think I've showed that here. I now have a gun that is compact enough to fit in a duffel bag, yet I can capably take down targets at 250, 300, maybe even 400 yards. If someone told me that we're gonna go deer hunting, this is the gun I would grab right now. If someone told me we are going to war, this is the gun I would grab right now. This is the most effective gun I own. And it is not just effective, it's also really, really fun to use. I adore this weapon. I hope you guys like this video and I hope you learned something. If you want to support future projects and future adventures, I opened up a Patreon. That is in the description below. It's a very, very cheap tier right now. Gets you access to the Discord and direct access to me. which I don't know if that's something you want, but that is what it'll get you. Hopefully, as the channel grows and builds, I'll be able to add more rewards. I'm really excited to take this YouTube thing more seriously. Anyway, have a wonderful day. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.